So hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Cassandra and this is Starlight's Musings. Yeah. Sorry about the lighting. The sun is very bright out and my blinds aren't doing much good. So, still working on some topics that I want to do eventually, but I wanted to share something. Now, I ordered off eBay. Okay. I sometimes can't be trusted on eBay at all. But okay, so I had a deck and I will show you the deck. Now I bought this a while ago and I realized right away that it had no instruction book, and even though it said it would have instructions, it didn't. And I realized very early on that it was a deck that I did need some guidance with because it's different. It's definitely different. And it's the Sacred Circle Tarot by Anna Franklin and Paul Mason. Here's the backs. And that's because they do things a little bit differently. A lot of people may not like this deck because it is photorealism, but you know, whatever. Some of the cards do have different names, like the Empress and the Emperor, the Lord and the Lady. The Hierophant is the Druid. You know, lovers are lovers. Let's see. They did name some different ones, but here's what's interesting, and this is where I was getting confused. Was here. Number 14 is the Underworld. That is basically the Devil card. Number 15 is the Tower. Okay. Number 16 is Temperance and is Initiation. And so they did do some things like that. Also, they do have certain landmarks in the minors that are sometimes recognizable, sometimes not. It is very pippish. I mean, I can handle pips, so I'm not worried. But it was different. It was a different kind of deck. And so I decided that I would need the book. Right? So of course, that's what eBay's for. So I ordered the book. At least I thought I ordered the book. So it was like $6 something on eBay. They just used like a stock photo. So I ordered because I'm like, I need this book. And the package was huge. Now I had thought, is it going to be the book in the deck? And I got this big, huge box. Now they had said it was acceptable, and it was some Goodwill thrift kind of thing. So I thought, oh, it's just the book. No, it was the book and the deck. So I have 2 copies of the deck now. But I did get what I really wanted, and that was the book. And I do feel really bad, and because it looks like this set, the big set, is no longer in print. You can find it. Like I said, I spent like a little over $6 for this. I'm seeing it for, $40, $50 or more for this book and the deck. I mean, you can, I did see another listing for this book for like just around $10. So, and so I was kind of bummed because I think what they do now, by looks of it, and I looked on Llewellyn's site, I do not know if they sell the book separately. I haven't done that kind of research yet. But I'm not finding it on Amazon, so I'm assuming Llewellyn doesn't sell the book separately anymore. Or never did. And you can buy the deck, the Sacred Circle Tarot, but it comes with like a little white book that's about 80 pages. And looking at this book, I do know that's not going to do it justice. I don't really think. Because if you have it like that way, you're going to look at it and go, oh, it's another tarot deck. It's just photoshopped with people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. But what's interesting about this book, now, I guess due to their backgrounds, and I'm not going to, well, maybe I can find it. I don't know. It's like the artist is Paul Mason, and I'm not going to read all this stuff, but Anna Franklin, she is a practicing priestess in the native British pagan tradition. And so one of the things I noticed in the very front of the book, where it has an introduction to the Sacred Circle Tarot, and it talks about the British pagan tradition, there's no references to other things. So with that part, I do not know how true it is, but considering her background, then it's probably pretty accurate. But again, I do not know for sure. And so what she does is she talks about the British pagan tradition, and then goes into specifically the Sacred Circle Tarot, the Major Arcana, and that's where she does talk about the changes. And it says here that they altered the sequence to fit more closely with the theme of the deck. And so they explain that a little bit. And then they have the Minor Arcana. And what she does do is, it is again, swords are air, wands are fire, cups are water, and I think it's discs instead of pentacles for earth. And they do show a little bit about each of the different suits. And then it talks about the journey of the Fool. And then this is what I thought was interesting. And so I'm pulling this book open, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. So they have some reading the tarot, divination. They have something called the Zodiac spread, which involves, of course, 12 cards. And each card represents something different. So it starts with Aries, which is personality, Taurus, financial matters, goes through, like Libra, marriage and relationships, Sagittarius, philosophy and religion, and so on and so forth. So it has that spread, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then it has something called the circle spread. Which, you know, these are spreads I don't normally see. So I'm like, oh, okay. The planetary spread, where it starts with the moon, goes to Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, which is a 7-card spread, and what each of the planets represent. And then there's one called the Romani spread. It's a 21-card spread. Yeah. There's the web spread. 17 cards to investigate past, present, future trends. Of course, the Celtic cross is in here. And then it goes into using cards for meditation, spiritual development. And one of the things I liked here, because it goes a little bit into each of the majors, but it does one for called the Wheel of the Elements. And then it has further meditational themes of the cards, aspects of the goddess, and it lists the cards to kind of use for that, aspects of the god. It does go over the seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, what cards are associated with those. The 8 festivals. So, and here's what's interesting. So it has Samhain, Yule, Imbolc, Ostara, Beltane, and then instead of Litha, it has, holy crap, I cannot say it. It probably has to do with the pagan tradition. Come on, focus, focus, focus. And then there you have Lunasa, and then instead of Mabon, it has that. And then it has one for just the Wheel of the Year. And so, and then it talks about if you want to meditate on the Holly King and the Oak King, the Battle of Summer and Winter, the cards for that. And then it talks about other combinations, and it also has Arrows of Brigid, and it has a set of cards for the Hearth Fire, the Fire of Inspiration, and the Healing Flame. I'm like, oh my god. And so I'm thinking, well, that's right there makes it worth getting the book. Well then, and this is, you know, I'm doubting that those are probably in the little white book, because you got to think about, there's 78 cards. Okay, so that's 78 pages, and there's 80, so there you go. But what's interesting, and you know, some cards get more than others, but here's just the Green Man, and it talks about, you know, what the card looks like, and then it gives the symbolism, and it can be anywhere from half a page to a page. Then she goes into the divinatory meanings, the reverse meanings, and then where how it involves the journey of the Fool. And she does that with all the majors, and then you get to the minors, and here she has, like for the Suit of Swords, she has the element, the season, the color, the attributes, the direction, and the festival. And so she has that with each. And then she goes into, again, the description, a little short description of the card, all the symbolism, and that's where they talk about some of the landmarks in the different cards, the divinatory meaning and the reverse meaning. And so I'm thinking, wow, pleasantly surprised. So, just for any of those, it's like, I have not worked with this yet, and like I had that other deck for over a year, but did not work with it because I was really unsure about some of the cards, and now that I have this book. So if you do get the new version with the tiny little white book, I really do suggest, because this book is 317, lying to you right now. Okay, 322 pages. And again, it goes into multiple spreads that I've not really seen in other books. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am, you know, leave a comment down below. But also not just into, here's the meaning of the card. You know, she doesn't even put, you know, there's some keywords on the cards, but there's no actual keywords in the book. What you get is you get a really good description of the symbolism, and then you have the divinatory meaning, which is meaty. It's not like a few words or a couple sentences. It's like a good fat chunk of page. And then the reverse meanings, and again, it's not just a few key words, it's a good little bit. Like here, this is from the Ace of Wands. That's what I just flipped to. So you have all of this for the divinatory meaning, and then all of this for the reverse meaning. And so I was like, wow. So if you get one of the newer copies where it's the deck alone, I strongly suggest, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I am already pleasantly surprised. You know, hunt for this book. That, by the way, on the cover is the Emperor card or the Lord card. So that's what the book cover looks like. The box cover has the lady or the Empress on it. So, but yeah, this is definitely, I mean, I got more than I had hoped for, but at the same time, very happy with my first impressions of this book. And I was reading the book that I got with the Robin Wood Tarot, and so as I work with that deck a little bit more, I'll talk more about that book later on. And but same with this one. So I'll say, I mean, but yeah, I'm impressed already, and so worth it. Just so worth it. So that's my little share for today. Again, I'm going to be working on some other stuff and try to get some things done. Yeah, it was just one of those weeks where did not know what to do with myself, but at the same time knew I had a lot to do and didn't do any of it. So, you know, we have those weeks. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the book, if you've already used this deck, or you like the deck, or you know, if you've seen those spreads elsewhere. maybe list where you've seen them for other people. I would greatly appreciate it. And again, thanks for watching. Much love and blessings. Bye.